So we're going to talk about, again, the online threat forecast and prevention strategies. The online threat center we're discussing, it's a tool from MX Logic that they offer. It's free for anyone to access. And what it offers is it's effective network security means stopping threats before they hit. The threat center lets administrators, see what's going on out there. It tracks spam, malware, viruses, and worms 24 hours a day, based on not only just what's flowing through their system, but what's out there on the internet. So you can use this as your first and best line of defense against network threats and attacks, and we'll show you how. So we'll jump right in and show this is what the 24/7 Threat Center looks like. We'll give you the link at the end of the presentation, so hang tight and you'll be able to check it out yourself. This is constantly changing, so it's neat to see what's out there. But what this is also going to tell you is, what you can expect for a level of spam. A lot of people think that a couple spam here and there getting through the network, might be pretty high, or you might see a big increase in spam. So this is going to tell you if that's what the trend is right now over the whole world really, or if it's just indicated down to your own network. Also, just the different kind of spam you can see on the bottom right, the top categories that people are browsing to on the web, what countries are spamming the most, and then what viruses are out there prevalent as well. And again, that spam level on top, that actually refers to the percentage of email going around on the internet that's spam. When I ran this report as of yesterday to get an up-to-date screenshot for our presentation, 96% of all emails circulating the whole entire world were spam. So that means the average is 4% of those spams are getting through. And in addition to the Threat Center, there's a monthly threat forecast report that's released also. It's designed to provide IT leaders with messaging and messaging professionals with info on recent and potential email and web threats. So a lot of people, circulate those emails saying, watch out for this one, watch out for this one. This is really legitimizing that. And I'll show you what that threat forecast report looks like. So the MX Logic Threat Forecast and Report, you can see here. This is the July issue. Just want to give everybody a quick overview on it. Again, you can download this from the link that we'll provide a little bit later in the presentation. But it talks about issues with Twitter, an Office update that's been a big piece of spam or a hoax email that's been going around a lot. I'm sure a lot of people have seen that. So this does tell you, in fact, that yeah, it's a real thing out there. Watch out for it, and it talks about it. Unfortunately, with the passing of a couple celebrities recently too, there's a lot of junk going around about them. Some of these obviously are things people all know about. Some of them, though, at times might be things that people were really aware of. So that's why this threat report is very, very useful. This talks about the increase in spam percentage also. So again, I mentioned that if you're seeing a large increase in spam, it might not just be your agency, it might actually be the whole world. This talks about that, and it talks about what the different types are. And then historical spam volumes. You can see that spam in the last few months has been much, much higher than it has been in the last year, with this month being an incredibly large drop, or large increase. There's always a section on the most prevalent spam and the malicious message of the month, kind of a fun little twist on it, but telling you again just what's out there and what to look for. So again, we're hoping that just showing people these resources will give you just a little better idea of what's going on out there, help you educate your users as to what to look out for, and we're going to talk about prevention strategies along those same lines, really to help you out, help your people more. So we all know that spam can really help the spread of viruses, worms, Trojans, and so forth. And it's a proven fact by the Osterman Group that 93% of organizations have had their network infiltrated by spam or viruses and so on through email. And that's not just corporate email. That's not getting it in through your Outlook. That's also letting people go to Hotmail or Gmail or Yahoo Mail via the web. A higher percentage of actual viruses are obtained from work by people going to their personal emails on work time. So we're going to talk about how to manage these threats. Talk about user practices and training that you can give to your users. Effective and properly configured antivirus software, how to do it, how it can help. We'll talk about security and software updates, and then give you some web browser and email configuration tips. Hopefully you'll be able to leave with a couple good tidbits there. So as far as user training and best practices for email usage and web browsing, how many people have seen one of these? You know, I get one of these at least every couple of days, and it's pretty common for people to forward these emails around over and over and over. As you can see here, this message is forwarded quite a few times over the period of several days. And the message is forward, forward. Sometimes there are 9 forwards and then huge email virus coming. Watch out. Well, sure, this was actually about a legitimate one, and we do get them all the time. But what I'm really trying to show you is they're happening all the time, and that's what really these threat reports do for you, is they just show which ones are out there. But as a rule of thumb, we're gonna show you just some guidelines of how to, one, have users stop sending these around. They're really just taking up everybody's time, because what they say to do are just common best practices that everybody should already be doing. And some of those are, don't open emails from people that you don't recognize. I mean, that's an obvious one. It seems like an obvious one, at least you would think. But some of them look pretty darn enticing. Some of them look confusing, so out of curiosity, you might open them up. But you want to train your users and make sure that you have the opposite outlook, is you don't want to open emails from people you don't recognize. Don't open emails from people that you do know, though, that don't seem like emails that they would send you. You know, if your spouse usually doesn't send you jokes, I would tend to not open an email that has a joke from them. You know, ask them later, hey, did you send me a joke? And yeah, it may sound silly, but the way these worms and viruses and Trojans operate is most of them actually grab onto your contact list and email out to people that you know. So that's why these things are spread from opening emails that look like they're from somebody that is totally okay, like a spouse or a relative or a friend. Don't open emails or attachments that you are not expecting. Talk a little bit about some examples of what some of those bad ones are in case you do happen to, but most of the time you're going to know when you're getting something, or it's well explained in the email body, and it's from somebody you know, and it looks safe. Again, I'll show you some examples in a couple minutes on what some of those are. And another one is, don't follow links in emails that you aren't expecting either. Same with attachments. Some pretty specific rule of thumbs, because these are some very recent examples of attempts for infecting people. Software companies don't send out emails with patches for you to download in them. Example, Microsoft. You'll never get an email from Microsoft that's legitimate saying download this patch and it having an attachment or a link to a patch. It doesn't operate that way. Credit card companies never ask you to verify their information over an email by clicking on this link. Neither does PayPal, eBay, Click to Buy, all those different kind of websites. They just don't operate like that. They might send you a link. I know PayPal, or an email. PayPal does every year send an update to their privacy policies, and they just ask you to go to their website. They will not send you a link. UPS, another very recent one, they don't send emails with attachments about a package delivery failure. So just some things to watch out for. These are great tips, again, just to circulate to all your users. Email best practices. Here it is, what to do and what not to do.